So, hello guys and subscribers, thank you. For those who have not yet subscribed, please subscribe. So, in this video, I'll be talking about functions. That is the most exciting thing I think we can talk about today. So, and this again will mark the end of my video today because I think I just got a job. I need to go finish it. So, let me record it before I go because I was excited for this video before even I started making it. So, guys, if you don't have an editor, please, from here onwards, then I think things will not play nice for you because you have to start knowing how to write codes in a really nice way, because I will be showing you a lot of things as I start functions, and that is the moment we start getting deep into real programming. As of now, we've been covering the basic things, but now it's more serious. So I'll be showing you. I showed you how to install Atom. So installing any editor actually is simply the same process. You go download it and just install, and you will have it over there. So I'll be using Sublime in my case. That's why I already have it open over here. So we made some files in some, I think, 4 or 5 videos back. So as of now, we'll be creating a new file. So new file, click. If you're using Sublime, then Control and New creates a new file, and then you can type the name here or just do save and then save over here. Now we call it functions. Okay, that is really bad. Rename .jl. It has to have the extension for Julia file. So here we are making functions. So if you still remember, I mentioned something about comments here. That is a comment, and then you do this is Julia function. You see I have something autocomplete there. Now, making functions in Julia. Actually, let me first mention what a function is. Function is a block of code that does a specific function. So there's a block of code that does a specific function. For instance, you want to sum two numbers in Julia. So what you do is you make a function that sums two numbers. So what you will be needing to do is just change the numbers you want to sum, and the function does the summing for you. So in this case, I'll show you two ways of writing a function. First is a function without arguments. You will know what arguments are, and second we'll see function with arguments. So Julia has something called function. So if you want to write a function, there's a keyword called function, then you hit enter, and then the name of the function, which in our case we want to call it hello world. So guys, I don't know if you still remember, but I think I mentioned it. I mentioned this. So in Julia, when you want to do something, when you are naming functions, then even if there are two words, you don't use camel case like this. It's just a standard convention. It's not something important. You don't use camel case, or you don't either use lowercase. You just write them hello world like that, because there are two words, but you just write them like that. This is a convention. And then you do tab print ln hello world. So you see guys, I normally always write functions in Julia. You start not only functions, every block in Julia you have to write an end statement. So when you are making a function, you write function, which is a keyword, then the name of the function, and then these brackets, and then all the code that you want to do to be executed inside the function over here. And in this case, we are only printing hello world. We could do something like 1 plus 1 again over here, but that would be again part of the code. But as of now, we are doing only print hello world. So that's why we only have hello world over here. Now if we run this function, what do you expect? I expect nothing to happen. Now Julia function.jl. You see, it's taking time to execute because if you can still remember, it has to compile. Now, if we try running again, then it will be faster. You see, it didn't even take time. Now, if we wanted this code to execute, then there's something called calling a function in Julia. You have to write the function, the name of the function you want to execute. Okay, sorry, I forgot the brackets. Now you see, we get hello world because we called the function. So calling the function, you write the name of the function and then the brackets. So this is calling a function in Julia. It has to be exact name you used previously. So this is function in Julia. As you can see, this function I don't think is really important. Why do you have to make a function that does something like this? So that's why we will be making another function now called sum of numbers. Now it's function sum numbers. I did tab function, then sum of numbers. Now we have two numbers, x and y, and you want to sum them. That's why x and y, and then you want to sum them. Now you do. I normally like writing just so that I don't forget. I write this way. Again in Julia, this thing you saw I did here is just something called indentation. It's not important, but it's good when you make your code readable. So it's really nice. I think here I have to select Julia so that this code can be styled in a nice way. So you see over here, the keywords are these, and then function name are green. And when you are calling function, this one is calling function. Whenever you are calling function, it's blue. So that is it. So sum of numbers x and y, and then now you see, if you choose the language you want, then by default Julia will do like, and Sublime will do the indentation for you. So that's where you see we got that one, sum of numbers. Now you want to sum x plus y. You see, if we do this one, then you still remember we need to call this function. Again, calling function should always come after the definition of function. This one is called definition of function, and then this one is called calling of function. Remember that. So you see, the first part was faster because you see nothing was happening. What happened here? No method matching sum of numbers. Did I forget to? Okay. This is it. Now you see, we are getting these errors because we did not pass the numbers we want to. These are arguments x and y. So whenever you want a function to use values that you will be supplying them outside the function, then you pass this thing called arguments. It can be 1, it can be 2, it can be 3, it can be 4, as many as you want, but you have also to define the values here. Here we could be passing 5 and 7 to be summed. Let me clear that, sorry, but again, that was really nice getting the error so that we know. You see, the execution was fast, but we still got no value because you see we never printed these values. Now if we want to print these x plus y, you see, now we get the values printing hello world and then printing 12. Now here I always advise you to use print ln. So that is it, guys. Now what if we wanted to see, let's say summed is equals to print summed. I want you to check something. I want you to check something. You see, it returns nothing because no, I just mentioned what I wanted to say later. It gives nothing because you see, this function doesn't have something that it's returning. However, if we remove this, I want you to check out this. You see, it returns 12. So what Julia does is whenever you don't put something like to be printed over here, the last thing to be executed inside the function will always be returned. However, when you want something to be returned, let's say you have a function that does this, and then you are trying, let's say, updating database. Functions will always not be doing these simple things. Sometimes you'll be updating database. Let's say you are a web developer and use a function to do something, then you update a database. So in most cases, in most of such cases, you will want to return value after or something like that after, but the value return doesn't specifically mean it will be down here. So that is why there's something called sum. Let's say summed. That was a keyword. You normally are not supposed to use keyword to do your own things. So you see summed, I know that is not correct, and then you use it. Now this is something called return. So this is a keyword again, return, which takes the value you want to return, which in this case is summed, and returns over here. Now let's see. You see, it returns print summed, which is 12. Now let's say you wanted to use this value to do other things, then you can access it over here by calling this, by doing what we did. The value returned over here, we assigned it to the variable and then we called it. So that is it, guys, about functions. Just remember, whenever you make a function, you have to end it. That is every block in Julia, but function is part of blocks in Julia. So whenever you make a function, you have to end it. So there's nothing else. Like you make function, the name of it, and then end it, and then the code. That is normally advisable way, so that you don't start forgetting this end. Because you see, if you forget that end, then you see this just causes an error. You see that error function, you see it says incomplete function because you never ended it. You never told it that, okay, the function, everything that was supposed to be inside the function ends over there. So that is why it threw an error after there. So guys, this is the way to make functions in Julia. If you think this is cool, then in the next video we'll start doing other things. You see, this is to do sum. You can make functions to start subtracting, division. Just you have, again, it's always advisable to name functions a name that is, understandable. Like, this is Julia function. This is something called a comment. So comments are helpful. For instance, if we say this accept to arguments, you see, that is it. And then we can have something like this. Multi-line. You see, so this is a inline comment and this is a multi-line comment, and multi-line comments should always go in their own line and end as soon as these three quotes appears. So that is it. Single line comment can go anywhere, and this is multi-line. So guys, I've covered a lot of things and the video has already been long, so I think it's almost 10 minutes or something. So please don't forget to subscribe, and goodbye.